All right, let's talk about what's broken today. In Los Angeles, we've got a rattlesnake under a package, a mother killed by a stray bullet, a fugitive in a suit, a non-profit acting like a hedge fund, and schools getting printing money. Buckle up, folks.
I'm Vixie Steele. This is Loud and Local in Los Angeles. Let's get into it.
First up, Santa Clarita. A 3-year-old girl named Addie was bitten by a Southern Pacific rattlesnake hiding under an Amazon package on her front step. It happened on July 13th. Family grabs the box, snake strikes the kid, chaos in seconds. She was rushed to the hospital. Doctors gave her multiple doses of antivenom, which slows that nasty tissue damage these bites cause. She's alive because they moved fast. That's the difference.
Listen, it's an unusually busy rattlesnake season. Warmer weather, climate change, pick your poison. The snakes are more active and coming closer to where people live. California's already logged around 277 rattlesnake bites by mid-year. To be fair, the surprise here is the hideout, under a damn cardboard delivery. Look, mate, add this to your routine. Tap the box with a broom, check the shade, watch the edges, keep the yard cleared. Don't stick your fingers where you can't see, and if someone's bitten, call 911 and keep them still. Do not try to suck the venom out like a movie hero. That's not real life. It's ridiculous that we now have to add checking for rattlesnakes to picking up a package, but here we bloody are.
Moving on before I break something. South Los Angeles. Maria Barrios Ventura, 20 years old, was asleep in her own bed when a bullet came through the window and killed her. That was July 19th. She leaves behind a 1-year-old baby, and there's a GoFundMe set up for funeral costs and the child's future. LAPD's investigating. No suspects identified yet. The randomness is the point. You're asleep, and a stray round erases your life. Jesus Christ.
Look, I don't need a lecture on root causes today. I need doors and windows that stop rounds, and neighbourhoods where that's not the nightly soundtrack. It's a damn shame people can't even feel safe in their own beds anymore. If you know anything, say something. Anonymous tips exist for a reason. And yeah, no, I don't want to hear anyone call this acceptable collateral of city living. Back in my day, people had fucking standards.
All right, let's keep this train wreck rolling. A fugitive sex offender, Ronald L. Fisher, disappeared during his 2005 rape trial, got convicted in absentia, and then lived more than 20 years as a yacht-owning biopharma executive in Los Angeles under the name Richard Graydon. Multiple aliases, corporate boardrooms, the whole slick package. He's finally been grabbed off the New Jersey coast by a federal task force and the Coast Guard. Unbelievable, but not surprising.
Here's a question that fries my brain. How the hell do you hide in plain sight for 2 decades while climbing a corporate ladder?
Background checks, compliance, due diligence, all these fancy words that get thrown around in meetings. Where were they? Imix Biopharma's now facing questions and an investigation into potential federal securities law issues. I swear, the system can track your parking tickets to the cent, but a convicted rapist on the run can slide into a C-suite with a boat slip and a new last name. Can someone explain why this bullshit is allowed? Next up, a non-profit that looks a lot like a business class problem. A Step to Freedom here in LA paid more than $1.7 million to companies owned by its own chief executive, Kenya Kroom. That's meals, management services, the works. The non-profit grew fast with taxpayer funding, going from about $25,000 in revenue in 2018 to more than $5 million by 2024, operating 6 housing sites. But those ties to the CEO's companies were not disclosed on tax filings. Now the county's auditing, and they want $82,800 repaid for unapproved work. To be fair, Kroom says the contracts were cost-effective and necessary. Here's my take. When non-profits act like corporations, it's the people they're supposed to help who get screwed. Homeless Angelinos aren't a revenue stream. They're neighbours who need stable housing and decent food, not a line item feeding someone's side company. If this checks out, fine, I'll give flowers. But if not, claw it all back down the line and put the money where it belongs. I shouldn't have to say this, but here we fucking are. Alright, let's shift gears before I start throwing shit.
Federal student loans are getting slashed for college programs whose graduates consistently earn low incomes. New rule out of the Trump administration this month. Programs in the arts, cosmetology, and certain mental health fields are most at risk. The idea is to curb loan defaults by starving programs that don't lead to enough earnings. Supporters call it accountability. Critics call it a hatchet that punishes the wrong people.
Here's what we know right now. The Education Department hasn't released the final list, but estimates suggest about 3% of programs at public and non-profit schools could fail the test, and roughly 33% of for-profit programs might. The biggest hits are expected in undergraduate certificates, especially cosmetology and film. And yeah, in Los Angeles, that means a whole lot of real people in creative and care work are about to get kneecapped by a spreadsheet.
Penalising education for not making money is like blaming the rain for getting wet. We need therapists. We need barbers and stylists. We need camera ops and lighting techs and editors and union crews. Not just founders and finance bros. Hold the obvious scams accountable, sure. But nuking whole fields because their salaries don't make a banker blush is lazy as hell. Honestly, what fresh disaster is this? Stop turning every dream into a debtor's prison, you absolute clowns.
And that's today's dose of reality. Rattlesnakes on porches, stray bullets in bedrooms, execs with yachts, non-profits moonlighting as vendors, and schools punished for not minting millionaires. We're leaving it at that, because I'm fucking exhausted. That's all for today on Loud and Local with Vixie Steele in Los Angeles. Go do something useful, and I'll see you tomorrow.